Sometimes we need to be a bit more front foot about being proud to be English. It's about representing your country, your family and your friends. I think we're very inclusive. I think there's a lot of people come from outside of England who weren't born in England, who have come here to make a better life, which shows a great insight into the attraction of the country. I was brought up in a little village in Cumbria, and so my dad was a farmer, and I lived there till I was 10 years old. I went to school in West Cumbria to a place called St Bees, a boarding school.
He was captain of first 15 rugby, captain of first 11 cricket, captain of fives, head of school, and you don't get those positions without having terrific leadership qualities. I think what the school gave him was the discipline and the organisation, because he had so many roles in the school, to be able to do what he's doing now. People like him because he's not intense, there's no bitterness in anything he ever says, and I think that he will take that to his players and he will make it so that they are proud to play for their country.
I think we've always shied away from it a little bit. We've always been not embarrassed, but slightly reserved in our approach, and we want to get back to singing the anthem loud, standing there with real pride in the shirt. And I guess we've broken it down. We've tried to reconnect to some of our military history. We've looked back into the past, tried to tell the stories of players gone by. We've looked at English rugby player Arthur Harrison that won the Victoria Cross. We've had a really strong connection with that. We've brought that into our routine on a weekly basis. We give out awards in his name. You've got to be a certain kind of character to pull this white shirt on. A lot of responsibility comes with it. A lot of expectation on your shoulders.
Every team has an identity, and whether you're playing for your local club or your school team, it's that identity that pulls you together. And obviously, when I've got a red rose, the identity is ultimately the strongest pull of all. You're representing, not just the rugby fraternity, but every person that lives in the country. We often get accused of being arrogant as English people, and I think that's completely wrong. And certainly, I think there's a difference between arrogance and self-confidence, and I think that at our best we're self-confident and we've got strong belief, and we're front foot. We never take a backward step. There's no arrogance in this England team.
I think Stuart's done a fantastic job in the way in which he has got the crowd associated with the team and the team associated with the crowd. And I thought in the Six Nations, the atmosphere for the Welsh and the Irish game were as good as any that I've ever been to at Twickenham. I thought the crowd were really behind the team.
I think the momentum and the build-up to the World Cup will be huge in itself because of the timing of it, the lack of other big sporting events around that time, the fact it's in this country. I think all the nations coming into our country will be really exciting for the local communities, whether it's a Samoa or a Tonga or a Canada or whoever it is. But ultimately the sense of responsibility I feel in delivering a performance that people feel proud of. And if we get the pool stages and that momentum builds, I think it'll be a powerful force. But irrespective of the England performance and if England win it or lose it, whatever, I do think the World Cup itself will have a massive impact on rugby in this country.
The legacy is key. The one thing that will drive participation and no pressure on Stuart is the team succeeding, because kids like to be associated with success. And we've got a very short window from the start of the World Cup to the end of the World Cup. So we've got to ensure that we invest in facilities, in coaching, so that when little Jimmy comes down to have his first sample of rugby, he enjoys it and we keep him.